This is how AIPAC operates in our nation's capital. This is how AIPAC must operate on our nation's campuses.
I'm a Catholic girl from Louisiana State University.
I'm Renee Sharon, and I go to the University of Alabama.
University of Illinois Chicago.
UC San Diego.
Penn State University.
Cal State Northridge.
Northwestern College in St. Paul, Minnesota.
From Asbury University in Kentucky.
Bethany College, Lindsborg, Kansas.
Kentucky Christian University.
Georgia Institute of Technology.
BYU, Hawaii.
University of Montana.
University of Denver.
Central Washington University.
Bonfont University, St. Louis, Missouri.
More than 1,300 college and high school students attend AIPAC's annual policy conference in Washington, D.C., representing 370 campuses and all 50 states. Another 250 were left stranded on a wait list. They were feted at the conference plenary on Sunday afternoon, and in the evenings gave the kosher cafe at the convention center the feeling of a university cafeteria.
1,300 students, 1,300 here with us from get this 365 college campuses and high schools around the nation.
The lobby cultivates political hopefuls and spreads its pro-Israel message to lawmakers across the country.
Every future senator will pass through an American campus. Every future member of the House of Representatives will pass through an American campus. AIPAC's job is to identify, engage, and educate those individuals as campus political leaders.
To that end, roughly a quarter of the college students at this year's conference were student government presidents. They were identifiable by the red buttons on their conference badges, and some said they had no connection to AIPAC at all before the phone rang one day with an offer to travel to Washington.
Right when I got in office, like last year, I was checking the messages on the phone, and there was a message from AIPAC for the old student body president to go, so I called them back. And then they said, oh, the conference is already over, maybe next year. And so when I got an email this year, I just jumped on the opportunity.
I'm the HCA president, and I introduced and I'm passing it down. And she'll be the next upcoming HCA president, and this I just keeps rolling through Miles College.
Raise your hand if you are involved in student government.
The architect of the campus strategy is Jonathan Kessler, a longtime AIPAC operative and its current leadership development director.
We simply have to find a way of identifying those most likely to emerge as America's future policymakers, specifically foreign policymakers. And we've come to understand that those people do not emerge willy-nilly or randomly. They emerge from the student government. They emerge from the college Democrats. They emerge from the college Republicans. They emerge from the debate societies, the international relations clubs, the leadership of the fraternities and sororities.
To talk to student participants at Policy Conference was to see just how effective that identification strategy is.
Probably most likely we'll be running for town council in 2 years, but I haven't announced that yet.
Along with farming, I do plan on going to law school here in the next few years and being involved in the local political scene.
George Washington University campus activist Eric Gallagher told a packed audience at the conference about how a former student leader, now working on Capitol Hill, had solicited his opinion about a resolution condemning the Goldstone report.
And he called me and he said, you know, my boss works for, represents a rural constituency with not too many people who care about these issues. And so he called me and he said, how should he vote? And I said, well, yes.
How are we going to beat back the anti-Israel divestment resolution at Berkeley? We're going to make sure that pro-Israel students take over the student government, reverse the vote. This is how AIPAC operates in our nation's capital. This is how AIPAC must operate on our nation's campuses.
Of course, Policy Conference isn't just about cultivating allies. It's also about firing up the faithful. And for the younger attendees, no speaker was better than Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz, who issued a frank challenge to those who claim Israeli actions endanger American soldiers.
I challenge those who are offering this argument, put up or shut up. Prove your point or stop making these bigoted arguments.
Dershowitz was amazing. He blew me off, and I think he blew everyone off. Blew everyone's mind off.
Dershowitz even found time to host a late-night Q&A session at a student reception, where he was greeted like a rock star.
Don't let them push you around. Don't let your teachers mislead you. Stand up to your teachers. You're the guys who are paying the tuition. It's your university. You have the right to fight back. You have a right to demand fairness. You have a right to demand sensitivity. Don't let them take the agenda away
From Washington, D.C., this is Ben Harris reporting.
This is how AIPAC operates in our nation's capital. This is how AIPAC must operate on our nation's campuses.